Good morning and a warm welcome to you all to the last of 24 hours for Energethon 2024. It is an honor and a pleasure to have you all here gathered together to share knowledge, insights, and innovations. Today marks the beginning of an exciting journey. As we come together from various fields and backgrounds, let us remember the words of Helen Keller: alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. This conference embodies the spirit of collaboration and the collective effort needed to tackle the challenges and opportunities before us. Our theme, this Igen Energethon 2024, reflects the pressing issues and emerging trends that shapes our world. In the words of Albert Einstein, in the middle of the difficulties, there lies an opportunity. Let this gathering be a platform where we turn challenges into opportunities, fostering new ideas, forging stronger connections. As we embark on this series of discussions, presentations, let us be inspired by the wisdom of Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. This conference is a testament to our commitment to lifelong learning and to use our knowledge to make a positive impact. We are privileged to have an array of remarkable speakers, thought leaders who will share their expertise, insights with us. Their contribution will undoubtedly stimulate thought provoking conversations and inspiring innovative solutions. Let us approach each session with a curiosity and an open mind, ready to engage and contribute to the dialogue. I would like to take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt thanks to all those who have made this conference a possible one: our sponsors, our partners, our volunteers, and the organizing committee. Your hard work and dedication have brought us together today and set the stage for successful and encouraging experience. In this closing, I let us embrace the spirit of unity and collaboration to this conference represents, as Mahatma Gandhi once said, the future depends on what you do today. Let us make the most of our time here, seizing our every opportunity to learn, connect, and inspire one another. Thank you for being here, and once again, I welcome you all. Igen Energethon 2024. Let us make this memorable and transformative event a grand success. I welcome you all.
Okay. A very good morning to one and all present here. So this is a warm good morning, and it's a great day to join here again back to Energython 2024. So I will just give an overview of what is Energython. So the birth of Energython, the how it is opened this Energython. So to contribute to energy action and support SDG Goal 7, the Institute of Green Engineer conceived the concept of energy action marathon titled Energython during the COVID crisis with the indexing from 50th Earth Day.
Sir, Niladri sir, welcome sir. Welcome sir.
Welcome,
Thank
sir.
you, Ramesh. Welcome and good morning to you all. Sorry for a little bit of technical hitch at the beginning.
Okay, sir. No issue, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sagira ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So this Energython, the first world record attempted Energython 2020 and was launched and successfully completed with the award from a World Book of Records London, Asian Book of Records and Indian Book of Records of 13.36 hours non-stop virtual conference with 40 speakers and 10 partners. In accordance with that, the second world record attempted and achieved with world record with the Great Britain certification for Igen Energython 2023, and which is the great success last year, Energython 2023. It was conducted on May 27th with 19.13 hours of marathon. So we had 110 speakers, 55 presenters, and 15,000 participants from overall the globe. So it was sponsored and partnered by five. And this year we are having Energython 2024 as a great success as a 24 hours Energython conference. So we have scheduled it for a 24 hours starting with the 6 a.m. session with Dr. Neeladri Chakrabarti sir. Welcome sir for this great session. And by 6:30 till 7:30 we are having some inauguration function with our eminent professor Dr. Velraj sir from Anna University as a VC. And then we are ending up with the session by tomorrow morning 6 a.m. So we are having a many eminent professor. Let us wait and see for a great day. Go ahead. So I welcome Ramesh sir for opening remarks.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And it was a very wonderful green morning to all the people across the globe who all connected with us through Zoom, who all connected with us through YouTube. It was a wonderful journey with Igen, the Institution of Green Engineers, initiated in the year 2014 for the purpose of doing giving back to the society through green activities, so that collectively we all together through SDG 17 partnership for the goals, we can able to contribute to maintain the temperature, so that in 2020 we are a part of a people will support the sustainable development goal. So keeping in that mind, madam rightly pointed out, we initiated in the year 2020. It traveled in 2023, and now we all are here for the witness of 2024 Igen Energethon. It is a 24 hours non-stop marathon, and very happy news and very great news that today we are with us, our former uh, engineering and technology, faculty of engineering and technology dean, and the present professor of Jadavpur University, Niladri Chakrabarti sir. Very warm welcome, sir. Very warm welcome, sir. It was a very happy news that always we will start with you only. Last year also, we had initiated the program with you. Uh, Sir, we had today this. There's a six themes which we have. One theme which we talk about the COP29. One theme which we are talking about the India 2027 Sustainable Development Plan. The next we talk about the UN 2025 Energy Plan. Earth Day, Planet as Plastic, that we taken as one theme, and COP 2030 taken as one theme, and last SDG for Energy, Energy Triangle. This all the theme which we are going to discuss. A deliberation of the theme is going to be given by the Dr. Selva in the next session. But our discussion here, how we can able to do some good contribution as a academic point of view, because you are seriously involved in academic activities and seriously involved in, we call you as the power man in Jadavpur University. Your first essence that how the academic institution play a big role for the contribution of this SDG 7 affordable and clean energy, sir. Sir, you can unmute, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Ramesh, one thing we should keep in our mind that India is a country of vast population. So SDG 7 or SDG 13 or whatever may be the SDG said by UN, you should not forget about the SDG 1 and SDG 2, because this elevation, the removal of poverty, and uh, and for SDG 4, the quality education for our countrymen is a must to achieve the other SDGs. Because when your stomach is full and your mind is full, then if your stomach is half done, then get a good results from a human being is very difficult. So India has a challenge, much more stronger challenges than its conventional counterparts across the globe, because our problem is manifold. But at the same time, I must tell you that all the central government facilities and the state government across department union are doing extremely well. Now, what I feel is that the Sustainable Development Goals has been made by UN. It should be made mandatory inside our syllabus, and SDGs are to be should be incorporated not only by industries, but it's as I am planning or I am telling about its incorporation in the syllabus. I think all the institutes or all the universities, all the IITs or NITs, they must plan themselves to get them connected to the 17 SDG goals, like how to help India to get out of this hunger. Zero hunger is the
Yes.
planning. So
Yes.
how the institutes can plan something, whether their syllabus can be redesigned, whether they can put extra research on production of food, or if you are going for a good living or in well-being, the SDG 3 or SDG 4, whether the medical research are directed in that way. And then comes the SDG 7 or SDG 13, where we are talking about the energy, the clean energy and the climate. Obviously, these days we are facing unprecedented rain or unprecedented heat waves. Everything is due to due to us, because we have utilized nature without any planning. So as because we didn't plan, we wanted only the profit. So as you went for the profit, and now your profit has to be spent on the people who are suffering. So I think government can come up with a tax system for these industries here, so that the safeguard of the people can be made. Because a country is known for its people. A country is not known for the rich man. Okay, rich mans are there, but obviously rich mans are very small in numbers. We always think for the poor people, the middle class, the lower middle class, who makes the basics of the country. So, if UN goals are to be done properly inside India, I think we must incorporate SDG activities into our course curriculum. We can devise one semester course for sustainable development goals. I am teaching such a course in JU. The name of the course is Energy and Environmental Sustainability. Though we are stressing on SDG 7 and SDG 13, but I myself has been incorporating the ideas of zero hunger or other innovations, industries, life below water, life on land, peace and justice. All the SDG goals are
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir,
devised.
on this, yes, sir. So because this is very good point, sir. We need to integrate, but at the same time, all students in the academic institution having their favorite hero, favorite cricketer, like that. It is a mandatory. They need to, when they join first year, they have to select their favorite goal. So that in the next 3-4 years they will travel through a particular goal, and their mini project, their funded project, that all will be related to that goal. So collectively, let 13 for 17 STG heroes will be there, heroines will be there, like that it will be there. Adding to that point.
That
Yes.
is a good idea, because different institutes can plan differently, because we are a vast country and we are not we have many intelligent minds with us.
Yes.
There may be there may be some designs, but the core is that the people should understand that if they do not participate in SDG activities, their own existence will be at risk. That thing should
Yes.
be put into the mind of the
Right.
young people, because as we are reaching our old age, so now we can look back, we can see what exactly we have done from the country and the
Yes,
society.
sir. Yes, sir.
We have done something wrong, that
Yes,
we
sir.
must first accept. So, but there is time. It is not that we have devastated the world. We have done something wrong, but we must plan now so that these failures are not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My next question is the we developed countries are talking that we need to move on, like that. Lot of things developed countries are talking and insisting all the countries to reduce the CO2 emission, like that. But the main agenda here is that they are actually the number one polluter in the world. So how we can able to tackle that? They are polluting and the same time advising all other countries to so this is like a little different thing when we had
This should be done in two ways. One in the political arena, and other through the scientists and the industries, because industries are the main polluting elements. Obviously, India is planning differently in the energy sector, because our stress is more now on renewable energy, and also we are planning to have nuclear facilities, which is not an emitter of greenhouse gases. But at the same time, you must also consider we are a very big country. Without industry, the country will not prosper. So we have to balance our activity. One important thing that we must consider, we have to produce electricity, stressing on renewables. But at the same time, we have huge coal reserves that we must also utilize for our base load. We cannot just rely on stochastic generations without having very strong facility of storage, because the research in storage is not up to date as I feel. Our generation strength is very high, but our storage strength is not good. We have found a lithium base in Kashmir, and let us check how these lithium batteries can come up, because we used to import a huge from China, the lithium ion battery basic cells. But now India can produce lithium cells, and if we are successful in this regard, then storage will be much more. Then storage will be much more. So we need to have a good facility in storage to avoid stochasticity in renewable generation. So we should tackle in both direction. Uh, we must tell UN, and we must tell the developed country, we are not only the polluting one. All of us are polluting one. So it is the responsibility of all of us in the world to devise mechanisms to arrest greenhouse gas emission directly into the atmosphere. If we can reduce this greenhouse gas emission into the atmosphere, I think I think the situation will be much, much better.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So my final question, sir. My final note, you are a big contributor for STG in a different angle, because you have good projects now running with you. So how the projects which you are handling now will help to for the achievement of STGs, sir?
Yeah, because the main project I'm handling these days is an UN supported project given to me by Government of India through Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change. It measures the greenhouse gas from the thermal power plants across India. So once we know because we are a coal-based country, so most of our thermal power plants are either coal or gas or lignite or petrol-based, diesel-based, oil-based rather, facilities where the generation of greenhouse gas is huge. So first of all, I am planning to measure these greenhouse gases from different power plants. I want to quantify the greenhouse gases. That is a mandate by UN to all the country, not only to India, but to all the country. Every country should report its greenhouse gas emission. And once these emissions are quantified, then we can devise something to arrest these greenhouse gases from the flue gas.
Yes, sir. So it was very happy discussion with you in the morning, sir. Finally, any some 2-3 important tips you can give it to the students so that they can able to improve their CV and they can become the skilled engineers, sir. So that we can conclude.
I think SDGs are getting huge momentum, like AI or ML. AI and ML is a very hot topic for the students these days. Obviously, it should be, because the technology is moving, the students are synchronized. The students' mind are synchronized to the movement of the technology. So SDG goals should be planned properly, not in the institutes, but also back at their home. They should always keep in your mind that they must connect themselves to the SDG goals.
Yes,
like
sir. So,
project form.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Ramesh,
for giving us the opening remarks for Igen Energethon 2024. It was a very happy start with you. I hope tomorrow morning by 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock we are ending with this time. The happy news is all the 6 team we are going to give the recommendation to the particular, sir. For example, COP29, it is going to happen in September. So we are going to send a recommendation to COP29. So because there is a 5 sections are running under COP29, 3 sections are running under UN 2025 energy. So this recommendation we are communicating to them. Maybe any one recommendation they can point out from us. that will be a big success for us. So that
Yeah,
is what.
I think parallelly you can send the recommendation to the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change, the
Yes,
nodal agency of Indian government,
yes,
because whatever may be the recommendation you are planning, I think your basic recommendation will be concentrating upon India. But
okay,
also, as because SDG activities are a UN-related activity, it connects all the country, you can definitely put up recommendations for other countries or countries as a whole. But
yes,
bypassing Indian government is not at all a good idea. That I think you must put your recommendation through Indian government so that
okay,
your activities and your plannings are taken into consideration.
yes,
Otherwise, you can write to UN, but UN, I think, will be very much hesitant to take up your recommendation if it is not routed through proper channel. So
okay, okay,
parallel, you should not put Indian government out of your mind, or Tamil Nadu government, or whatever government. Means we have unions, like we have states and unions. So you should not bypass the government activity, because Indians are very, very connected to government in their mentality. So if you are connected to the government, your success rate will be very, very high. Do
yes,
not
sir.
bypass the government.
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ramesh, thank you all who are here. I could see 4, 5 faces, but there must be many other faces. Thank you. I pray to Almighty for the success of your Energethon 2024. If I could be of help in any direction, kindly let me know.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So over to Sakira, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. It's a nice presentation in the early morning. We are starting with eminent professor and good ideas for this Energethon 2024. And next session, I will welcome Dr. Anuradha ma'am handling the power projects to briefing and discussing on Energethon 2024. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Zagira ma'am. Good morning to one and all present here. Welcome to the session on briefing and discussion on Igen Energethon 2024, T1 to T6 thematic representation. We have two eminent speakers with us today, Mr. Selvakumar and Mr. Ponraj Tangamani. Mr. Selvakumar is a business head at Power Projects Chennai. He served as an electrical engineer in Tata Consulting Engineers and ABB Global Industries before joining in Power Projects. He has received Extra Miler Award for his excellent contribution for ETAP training and ISO implementation. He has completed more than 100 megawatt cumulative capacity of microgrids in Australia, India, Indonesia, Thailand. He worked in many pre-feasibility, feasibility, front-end engineering, design, detailed power system analysis, commercial evaluation studies for microgrids and EV infra. Mr. Ponraj is an electrical engineer with a great passion for green energy and environmental advocacy. He is author of book titled What's That Climate Change? He transitioned to Australia, where he expanded his expertise through various courses in renewable energy and power management. As a successful energy consultant, Ponraj has spearheaded over 600 energy efficiency projects across diverse sectors. Mr. Selvakumar, I invite you to take over the session, sir. Over to you now.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks a lot for all those who have joined in Zoom, almost close to 30 peoples and almost 370 peoples in YouTube. So it's my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all for this Energethon 2024. I still remember how we have started Energethon 2020 during the crisis of COVID. And of course, every challenge brings an opportunity, and that COVID has brought an opportunity like Energethon 2024. And looking at from 2020 Energethon, like then we have done 2023 and now in 2024. So we are talking quite a lot on different topics, and I have only 30 minutes. And along with me, we have an eminent speaker, Ponraj. He's an author of the book, exactly relevant to the same topic. So, I thought of probably taking this into a kind of a Q&A session where we will be discussing on all the 6 conference themes. So, without a delay, let me share the screen. probably host can probably give an option for us, either make it co-host or probably
Yes, sir. Give me a
yeah. So just sharing the themes, like these are all the 6 conference themes which we are talking about. So T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6. So we have almost 30 minutes. So each theme we have 5 minutes approximately, and it's of course my responsibility to uh, like let me probably put Punraj also on spotlight, so that yes. So we have 6 themes and 30 minutes. So we want to probably give the best for the peoples those who have joined. And welcome Punraj. And let's start straight away with some questions,
Yep.
because
Sure.
we are keep talking on it, and like you have done a beautiful book exactly relevant to the topic. So my question, like, what made you think about writing a book exactly and precisely relevant to the theme, and what should be the takeaway for the readers of the book which is relevant to this theme what we are discussing in Energethon 2024?
Right. Thank you, Silva, and thank you, the entire team, for putting an excellent session for 24 hours. It's not easy making the coordination. So thanks to all those people that are working behind the screen and being aware of the time thing, just answering, stepping on to the question and answer session, like as Silva mentioned. So this is the book that I've written. It's called Adu Enna Kalanilai Matter. Probably my image is blurry. Okay. So Adu Enna Kalanilai Matter, meaning what is that climate change? Okay. And I did that in my own mother tongue, Tamil language, to make it available for each and every person across Tamil Nadu, where it could be a better reach. And the reason behind writing a book, or what made me to write a book, is that there are hundreds or thousands of professionals working across the world, particularly towards climate change and everything. But the actual change will come in when it is spread across the people down the line. Unless or otherwise, the messages like what we talk in conferences and big things like SDGs, sustainability, circular economy, and what all the big jargons in the industry will get into effect only when common man started thinking about it. And it starts, like as even the president, Mr. Ramesh, and also Mr. Sheshadri mentioned, it starts with schooling, college, and everything. So I have laid importance to schools and college, universities as well, where I have explained about 7 or 8 activities in this book, where people can do it as a kind of activity in the classes. Say, for example, it asks people about thinking, what can you do within your local council to reduce your waste management? So they come up with a project. And I'm not sure how many people here is aware that, there is a girl in Thiruvannamalai who just who installed a solar panel on the roof, a small roof of a ironing stand. And she generated electricity from that solar panel and used the ironing machine and reduce the carbon emission. So that's exactly the theme what we're talking about. And she implemented it in a small scale in her own village, for which she got recognition, she got awards, and she spoke in the United Nations. So these kind of small invention and discoveries could be making and created it across the globe if many people knows about it. So that's where I thought probably I'll write something, whatever I have in my mind, so it's spread across to people and it gets spread as a movement. That's the whole intention of writing it. And here in this scenario, you all people are doing an excellent job of connecting people and spreading the message. That's exactly what I'm doing in my own limits, what I can do in terms of writing and speaking. Thanks, Ella.
Yeah, thanks, Punraj. Like, let me go to again relevant to the theme. So means what say in 6 themes we are talking about energy dependent climate protection. Of course, everybody needs energy. Even like we are doing this conference online, and probably 400 people has joined. If it is a physical event, it could have costed like quite a lot of energy and probably waste. But still, though it is an online, even this event consumes energy. So we cannot probably leave energy apart and talking about a climate. We have to balance both. So when we are talking about this energy dependent climate protection, of course, we are talking about the renewable generations the previous speakers has talked about, and probably we also need to balance that economically, affordably, and at the end it has to reach the last man in the world. That's at most important. So from that perspective, like I have probably a question, like I mean, sort of say, you have quoted quite a lot of challenges in the developing countries, and that is different from developed countries. And I guess our president of Igen also has precisely talked about it. The countries, those who are already developed, I mean, sort of say, emitting quite a lot of, like, I mean, sort of say, pollution. And then probably they are pointing out the countries, those who are developing or underdeveloped, about, like, means you have to protect the environment. So what is your thought on that front?
Sure. Thanks, Eloy. That you brought in an important point, and I think I put that in the slide. I'm not sure if you've got the slide open with the developed countries and developing countries. So if there is a possibility of sharing that, that'll be helpful. So going to the third slide. Next, yep, that's the one. So as you see in this picture, like, we might, we all be aware that there is a principle called 80-20 or Pareto principle where, 80% of 80, everything is split into 80 and 20. Likewise, in today's world, the climate change is caused by more than 80% of the climate change is caused by developed countries. But if you think about who is suffering because of the climate change, it is the entire world. Whether, say, for example, you talk about Fiji, I'm here located in Australia now, but if you see the local small islands in and around Australia, they're suffering a lot. But if you think in the past, how much they contributed climate change, minimal or even almost very, very, very rare, okay, except for the wood they use for cooking or something, So their impact is minimal, but they are the ones who are suffering the most. So 80% of the developed countries cause the issue, 100% of the people living, and who is better equipped to handle the climate change? It is again the developed countries. Whether you talk about the countries in Europe, or you're talking about USA or Russia, or or Australia for that matter, New Zealand. So these people, the so-called developed countries, are better equipped in terms to handle the financial capabilities to change the trends. So there is a big gap in addressing this problem. So it is why, which is the recent COP, they have implemented a funding where developed countries need to mobilize some funding to the developing countries because they are the faulters. So they carry the guilt, they carry the shame, they carry the weightage. So they need to commit certain things to the developing countries, which is very important. So that needs to be implemented, and people like us, all who are working in this segment, advocating for this segment, need to bring in these changes wherein the money from the developed countries have to go towards the developing countries. And that's where this conferences, like Mr. Ramesh mentioned, they are going to put down some recommendations to you, and you're saying this is one of the prime parameter. Again, India is a developing country. So if you look at this graph, even though India got 140 billion people now, the contribution what we have is considerably less in terms of carbon emission that we've contributed over the last 200 years, but now it's increasing. But at the same time, it is important that the funding from the other countries need to come towards us in terms of carbon emission activities and other related stuff.
Maybe I have another interesting question as well. Maybe that's relevant to like percentage of the energy which we are producing from the renewables. Like I will give you some statistics as well. So I'm sharing the screen and just giving you an idea. That's from Central Electricity Authority website. So if you look at the month of March, it's probably 1.5 months date back. Like so, conventional generation for the whole month of March, we have generated 122 billion units. And renewable, it is only 25 billion units. So approximately even today in the March, where there is a summer and solar energy is at its max, we are able to generate only like about 16% of the energy from the renewables. That means what I'm understanding, if the predominant audiences attending these conferences are from India, 84% of the energy used to run this conference in terms of your mobiles, in terms of your laptops, in terms of anything, still 84% of the energy is coming from conventional sources. And maybe giving another statistics as well, like this is an installed capacity perspective. This is a little later data, like means what's the 15 days old data, 30th April. So out of 442 gigawatt installed capacity, like we have like 144 gigawatt installed capacity comes from renewables, which is 32% of installed capacity. What I mean, like in terms of installed capacity, we have 32% renewables. But installed capacity is only one small part of it. But what is important is how much fraction of energy which you are supplying from that installed capacity, which is only 16%. That means probably the electrical engineers can understand and appreciate plant load factor of thermal plant or hydro plants, if water is available, or nuclear plants are close to 100. Whereas if you take solar plants or wind farms, it is again, the plant load factor is less. So though the installed capacity is more, the energy which we can probably supply in percentage is quite less. So, like means what say, considering this, and we are battling against the climate change, and of course, this renewable penetration also has quite a lot of challenges. It's intermittent in nature. Solar will not be available in it, and probably you're exclusively working on solar. So, means what say, how do you look forward, or how the world has to compete this climate change by means of renewable, and what's the role in it?
Yeah. Okay. So we all know, obviously, solar cannot be generated during the off-peak times, or evening times and night times. Obviously, So we all know that. So obviously, there is a big gap in terms of the base load requirement that is need for the sector. Whether you talk about India or Australia or any country for that matter, that is definitely a thing. So the way how other countries are managing it is something learning that we could get from these pictures. So if we talk about a state called Tasmania in Australia, they almost generate more than 80% of the electricity is coming from the hydropower. Okay, so whatever the balance hydropower they're available, we need to start tapping those things, which could support the base load. And in my house, I'm using renewable electricity for the last 8 or 9 years. It doesn't mean that I got a big roof spreading over solar and I'm feeding my air condition to hot water. No, not really. I'm buying electricity from a provider who is selling only renewable electricity. So meaning, so here, like I know in India, the various states operate on various parameters. In Tamil Nadu, it is only TNEB, which is still the retailer. And in some states of India, it's already privatized. Here in Australia, for example, there are manufacturers, generators, and then there is something called as retailers, those who buy electricity from manufacturers and sell it to people. And there are certain retailers also buy only renewable electricity and sell it to people. So I'm investing on renewable energy for the last 8-9 years continuously. So by that way, I'm with the renewables. So similar kind of opportunities can be enabled in platform. So that by that way, whenever there is we all know that whenever there is a problem, there is an opportunity as well. So this kind of opportunity should also create a business environment, and that's where many people come in and they start putting their own plans. Because I know there are a lot of millionaires in India or Tamil Nadu for that matter who are ready to invest on all these things. So when they see a business model which could give a fair return on investment, they start jumping into these kind of renewables. And coming back to on the base load that you talked about, another thing. So the only the way the countering is with the other renewable powers, which could be catered like whether it is hydroelectric or now geothermal and wind, tidal energy or anything. Of course, we all again have challenges. What we could get with coal, we cannot definitely get with that kind of substantial amount with tidal or this and other thing. So that's an ongoing challenge. Beyond all these things, very important factor that I need to bring into picture here is about the role of solar panels. So again, those who are working in solar panel industry knows that the efficiency of the solar panels that we put in, whether it is in commercial premises or residential premises, is only 20%. It could hardly vary from 17 to 22% to give an approximation. So let's say 20%. So if 100% of sun rays is irradiating the solar panels, only 20% is converted to electricity. And that is the panel efficiency that we are currently operating. And that 20% again efficiency is coming from most of these results are from Australian UNSW, which produce these results, by the way. Okay, and some of the panels that we use in satellites and that we use in space objects, they are of high efficiency around 30, and big solar cars and other things that effect. But we cannot put that kind of panels in our houses or business because that cost will overrate everything. Okay, so imagine when this technology evolved from 20% to 40 or 50%. This could be a big game changer in the industry. And there are a lot of researches happening in many photovoltaic cell industry, whether it is in China or Australia or Japan. I don't know how much intensive is happening in India in certain parts of the universities. I was having a chat with some professors back there, and I heard that the lab facilities are a bit limited compared to international scale, but however, it is improving. Okay, so to answer your question again, apart from the renewable sources that you're targeting, the technology advancement in the material science and the panel efficiency will be a big game changer in the coming years.
Yeah, that's great, Punraj. Like maybe since you have touched this point, I will little more stress on this point. Means to say there are many millionaires and billionaires are ready to invest as soon as they see a business opportunity. So I also believe that means what say climate change alone cannot be fought separately. this has to make some commercial sense as well, without which, I mean, how great the technology is, which will not sustain if it is not making commercial sense. So in that case, like as an engineer, as an entrepreneur, like means to say, what are the roles and opportunities available for the students or for the academic peoples? Because I personally felt like means when the peoples are talking about this climate change or carbon emission, greenhouses, etc., they're talking probably slightly independently. What I feel like at the end of the day, like of course I have to work for the world, I have to think about the climate change, etc. But after all, like I have to live myself, right? Like I need to make money and I have to live like the life which I deserve for. So what's your key takeaway, or what's your advice probably to students and probably even the academic peoples, those who are working in research, etc., how this climate change itself can be made commercially? Because you're running a I mean, let's say green trends in Australia, so can you share some thoughts on it?
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's a very important question as well, because it brings in the focus basically. Okay, even again, it's a management concept. People, those who are management sector would have learned about. It's called YFM, they call it, or what's in it for me. இதுல எனக்கு என்ன இருக்கு? Okay, you could talk about all other big things. அதெல்லாம் இருக்கட்டும். இதுல எனக்கு என்ன இருக்கு? What's in it for me? That question is the actual question that be coming across each and every individual, and particularly that comes across the students as well, because we talk about big things now, but when we are in year 3 or college third year or fourth year, obviously you and me would have been in the same scenario. Where would I get placed? What would I get job? Where I'll pay out my loan, or I'll take care of my sisters, brothers, whatever it is. We all have that financial commitments and everything. So it all narrow down to that concept, which is where it is creating an entrepreneurs like you or other people, or me, or whoever it is for that matter. So again, stressing on the same point, wherever there is a problem, there is an opportunity. That is for sure. Okay. So talking about climate change, for example, so we mentioned about the climate change is created by countries across the world. So the whole world is suffering because of the climate change, whether it is the weather changes. You're talking about El Nino or La Nino. The changes that is happening in African subcontinent is affecting India. So the changes which is affecting in India is causing wildfires in Australia. That is causing smoke where we could not get out to the field even. Those kind of changes are happening across the world. So the solution also coming across the world. So when you say, for example, the biggest opportunity that is happening currently in the market is about carbon trading. Okay, so this is, this sounds for not only for big business or medium business or small business. It starts from the top to the bottom. Say, for example, the current opportunity that we're currently working on with Australian and Indian companies at the moment is that there is something called as carbon energy trading. So for every amount of carbon emission which is split out into the environment, it creates carbon emission. We all know that. That is categorized as 1 ton of carbon, again, which is translated into something called as a financial dollar figure called certificates, energy certificates, they call it. Sometimes they call it as carbon certificates. And we all plant trees for good things and other things. And every schools and colleges do that as a good activity. Now there is a things, let's say, for example, you're in Erode, okay, and Silva buys a big plot like 10 acres, and Silva likes environment and he want to plant either coconut or whatever trees you want to do it, and make some farming or organic, whatever it is. What you're doing normally is that you create these things and you make farming out of it, and you feel happy that you're doing. Apart from this, then there comes a job role of a consultant. Okay, you call it an energy consultant or carbon certificate trader or another thing. So they come and say, "Oh, Mr. Silva, you have planted 1,000 trees. Of these 1,000 trees is absorbing 1 lakh tons of carbon dioxide every month. So for which I'll call my quality auditor, and he will certify it, and he will come and check. He'll do some monitoring, measurement, and certification as per the UN norms. And they say, okay, this 1 lakh tons can be converted into something called as 50,000. Okay, 50,000 certificates. And then an auditor comes and says, okay, this 50,000 certificates is translated in something called as 25,000 rupees per month. And then you say, oh, 25,000 rupees. Then you go to a local company, which is, let's say, ABC Mining works in Neyveli. Okay, so they are polluting the environment. So the Indian government and the United Nations government has laid a protocol for them to reduce the carbon emission. So they say, how do I reduce the carbon emission? I'm still digging lignite from the bottom. And they say, oh, there is a person called Silva who comes and he's selling his carbon credit to us. Okay, Silva, I'll buy it to you for So you got 25,000 rupees, I'll give you 2,000 extra, I'll buy the certificate from you. And then Selva's friend Punraj or somebody call from USA or Australia and say, oh, I can get it to you for something for 30,000 rupees. And you sell the certificate to, oh, so there is a business opportunity coming here. Okay. Likewise, a student is involved in creating a certificate, an auditor, a trader, a market authenticator, and then when it is documented, a policymaker. So this thing has created a big chain of opportunity. And whatever I'm telling, I'm talking a simple example relating you and me here. Okay. But this kind of opportunity exists in all parts of the world currently based on the government regulations that is happening. So this is a big industry which I think in the next, it's already happening and it will get bigger only.
Yeah, that's great. And maybe 400 plus people are there in YouTube, and we have like 8 more minutes left. If there is any interesting question, like the people those who are joining in YouTube can probably post it so that like we can take the questions. And of course, the people those who have joined in Zoom, if you have any questions, like we can take it. And like maybe one last question from my end, I will go with that, Punraj. So interestingly, after providing like quite a lot of solutions, writing a book, fighting hard for a climate change, but like you also ridicule the people, so those who are trying to say that like say we can save our world, right? So I have seen in multiple places. So as we are celebrating this Earth Day and probably this creating a rhythm, and even this event is probably pushing somebody for the actions, but like most of the people, so it's giving an awareness. So like we are celebrating Earth Day, etc. Like and people are coming forward. Like why do you make that remarks or a reference like the people those are saying that they are trying to save our world?
Right, I got the point, Selva. But I fully respect each and every individual's thoughts who come up with the thing because they have that compassion, they have that empathy in their mind. Somebody is throwing plastic and say, "I'll not throw the plastic, so I'm going to save the earth." That is a good thing, which you need to appreciate. Similarly, somebody using plastic bottles, 3 plastic bottles a day for drinking water bottle, that's ridiculous. Instead of taking a bottle from their home. Okay, so they say, "I'm going to save the earth." They do it. That's a good thing. The activity, what they're doing, is all good. And they're doing it in their own levels, which we completely respect. And that is the thing which is need of the hour. But on the other side, we also see people saying, save soil, save earth and everything. Even like, some corporate swamis in India is saying, save soil, and they're propagating and all those things, But let's take a step back. Who are we? Who are we? We are humans. How long we're here. It'll be good if you could get me that presentation slide that I gave you and thing with the earth. So what are we? We are, how old is this earth? The earth is about 4.3 billion years. The rocks that we found it in Australia or Canada and other places says the life of the earth is about 4.3 billion years. Okay. So this
Which
earth
slide,
is there for the last, yeah, that's the one. Okay. So these are the questions I want you to ask to yourself. How old is it? And how old are the humans? We've seen like the earth has gone through a lot of changes over the years. Of the 4 billion years, where are we? We formed only 2 lakh years ago. 2 lakh or 0.2 million years is nothing compared to human life. So if you try to imagine, can you get to the next slide, mate? So if you're talking about the whole earth life, let's say the life started at 0 a.m. in the morning. Nothing happened till 6 a.m. or noon or 3 p.m. or 6 p.m. or even 9 p.m. Even the dinosaurs came only after around almost like close to 10 p.m. So the dinosaur came and they extinguished. So the Homo sapiens or the humans came only the last 1.5 minute of the whole 24-hour life cycle. So if you say we are very, very new to the world, or even I put in a very simple word, let's say, for example, we all have kids and other things. So let's say let's assume I'm 45 years old. I'm not, by the way. Okay. Let's say I'm assume 45 years old. I'm getting a baby. Okay. And my baby is about 5 days old. That 5 days baby cannot say, "Oh, I take care of my father." Obviously, he or she cannot. I need to feed, I need to nurture, I need to bring them at least for a few years or down the years to, or even sometimes up to teen to make them stable. Likewise, compared to humans, like I compare myself as earth and then that little baby, which is 5-year-old as a humans. So we are very new to this earth. We as a humans are very new to this. We cannot save the earth. We need to save ourselves from the calamities that is happening in the earth. So we are spoiling the earth. So only we will get extinguished, like dinosaurs or any other planets for that matter. Even if we spoil it, all the nuclear weapons and this and that, end of the day, the earth will get through changes, which will kill us, but the earth will go on. So let's not be too much egocentric. Let's be ecocentric. Let's thrive ourselves. Let's reduce our emissions. Let's reduce our plastic usage. Let's reduce all our environmental cautious activities and be down to the earth and be one among the all other organisms. So we are trying to save our own human lives here. We are not trying to be very competent enough to save the earth. I put this image mainly because, we as let's say, imagine, that's the previous image on the left-hand side. Again, there's a good saying in Tamil. ஆயிரம் கைகள் மறைத்தாலும் ஆதவன் மறைவதில்லைன்னு சொல்லிட்டு. Okay, meaning, if you put our hands over the sun, you can't hide the sun. That's what we are trying to do here. When we say another thing, can we put take our hands outside and protect the globe? No, just protect the earth. It's not practically possible. So we need to evolve. We need to do whatever within our limits to save humans live in the earth, because we don't have any other opportunity of having other planet in our solar system to live. So that's all we have. That's a point I want to make. But otherwise, I fully respect each and everyone who makes activities to make it active in terms of reducing emissions and everything. And we need to be a bit ecocentric than egocentric as big humans. We didn't achieve anything. We didn't travel across in terms of beyond the planets or something. We have a long way to go. So we have only one planet. Let's try to do what we could do within our limits. That's what I'm trying to communicate.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ponraj. And I am seeing about 433 people are there in YouTube, and I guess they have enjoyed your sessions. But I also personally felt this, I appreciate the those who are taking an action rather than mere spectators. If India, you cannot talk except the cricket. So I will give an example of cricket itself. In a cricket, it is important to be a player rather than a spectator. So I want the those who have watched it, summarize what is your learnings and put it in the chat box. So that at least that will help others also, those who have joined a little late, will help them to understand. So I expect each and every one, those who have joined in YouTube, summarize what is this 30 minutes sessions. And we have another eminent extraordinary speaker, Professor Velraj, Vice Chancellor, Anna University, is waiting for us. And I have only 2 more minutes before handing it over to him. So I respect those who are waking up early and joining the sessions, but it is not like watching a cricket match. I expect everyone in this watching this YouTube channels, or probably those who have joined here in Zoom, to be players, even if you're not a presenter. I always believe that you can be a player if you decide to. It is not that necessarily you have to get a chance to speak. So what I expect from each and everyone, those who have joined, please do 2 actions. One, summarize whatever you have learned in each and every session, put it in the chat box. Second one, when there are eminent speakers are coming, like Professor Velraj, Vice Chancellor, Anna University, I expect the people to share this YouTube link to their WhatsApp circle or wherever it is possible, so that it will reach out more people. And with that, I will hand over the session back to Dr. Anuradha to further things. Thank you so much, Ponraj, for your time.
Thank you, Silva. You did it very well. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for the professors and every eminent person. I'm happy to say that I'm also a student of Anna University. So happy to see our new Vice Chancellor coming in, and also the other eminent speakers. Thank you all.
Thank you, Selvakumar sir and Ponraj sir, for the wonderful insights on climate change, carbon footprint, green trends, and what are the roles and responsibilities we academicians, students, business owners, and national leaders can take. And final message, we should be not egocentric, but ecocentric. Thank you, sir. We will take it forward. Zahira ma'am, over to you, ma'am, for the next session. Zahira ma'am?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful session. Lakshmi ma'am? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Next.
One second, ma'am.
Next, we are going with an inaugural session. Sir, is it ready, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Gokul is ready, ma'am. You can proceed, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the 3rd session. We are moving on to the inaugural session, which is inaugurated by our Vice Chancellor of Anna University, Dr. R. Velraj, sir. So he will be delivering a visionary talk on the energy talk also. So I will hand over the session to Gokul, sir. Welcome, Gokul, sir.
Good morning. I'll take 2 minutes to take my PowerPoint. Very good morning. Yeah,
yes, sir. Yes,
2 minutes. Yes, yes.
Sir, very welcome, sir. Very happy to connect you, sir.
Yeah, very good morning. I'll join in 2 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In the Yes, sir. In the meantime, Google will go for the introduction note and all the time.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Very good morning to all present here. So, good morning, Chennai, India, and global. We are happy that we have been joined for one cause. That's important. It's a World Earth Day celebration is going on with all of us. 17 SDGs, 70 partners, 17 institutions, 285 speakers joining for one Igen Energethon 2024 to find the solutions to energy sustainability. It's an attempt to world record. Definitely, I think almost 500 participants morning 7 o'clock they joined in our YouTube. They have been live. And also we are working with 17 SDG for 17 states and 17 institutions, 17 speakers, 17 academic heads to discuss about the role of energy in achieving of UN SDG. So this has not happened overnight. I think it has almost happened with almost a 6 months of period with all the supports of eminent personalities along with the agent directors. Today we are being in the inaugural. So it is delighted to welcome all of you for the inaugural session of our Energethon 2024. So this Energethon 2024, it is not started by today. Almost 3 years before we initiated. And this Energethon 2024, it is the third Energethon 2024, which we are initiating today. It's given immense pleasure to invite all of you for this Momentum Day. And definitely, I think we are going to carry up a huge memory as well as a challenging oath. We are going to take it for to make our own earth as a clean and green. So within that, I would like to invite our Dr. Manimela, who is an associate professor from Anna University, to take up the introduction about our Vice Chancellor.
Thank you so much, Gogol sir. Good morning, all. Respected Chief Guest, Igen President, Igen team, Professor Gogol, Zahira ma'am, sponsors and partners, students and academicians, and other participants for this World Record Conference event. On behalf of Igen, I'm happy to introduce the energetic, enthusiastic, and vibrant Vice Chancellor of Anna University, Dr. R. Velraj, the chief guest for Igen Energethon's third edition of World Record 24 Hours Marathon Conference. Dr. R. Velraj is the Vice Chancellor of Anna University, one of the top-ranked NIRF and World QS ranking State University of Tamil Nadu, India, with around 500 affiliated colleges. Dr. R. Velraj served as a professor in Institute for Energy Studies and is specialized in thermal energy storage, solar energy, desalination, energy efficient buildings, energy auditing and management, and fundamental studies of heat transfer and computational fluid dynamics. He completed his BE in Mechanical in Annamalai University, Masters in Energy Engineering, and PhD in Anna University and PhD at Anna University. The Honorable Vice Chancellor has previously served as an excellent administrator in several specialized centers of Anna University as Director and Deputy Director. Several international publications, around 250, speak about his excellent contribution to the renewable energy, thermal energy storage, etc., with more than 15,000 citations, H-index 65, I-10 index 182. The Honorable Vice Chancellor has executed 15 sponsored research projects, which includes collaborative projects with reputed foreign universities, especially in the renewable energy microgrid. In the area of thermal storage, he was granted with 6 patents and he has executed 38 consultancy projects. Sir has initiated several green initiatives in the Anna University campus, like solar power system, biogas plant for cooking, centralized solar PV street lighting system, solar operated air conditioning, solar pumping, etc. He is an expert committee of various research forums, organized several conferences, and acted as an expert committee member for several delegations. His contribution to the field of renewable energy systems is really enormous and excellent. Sir is the right choice for inaugurating this event, and Sir's inaugural speech will surely ignite the minds of several researchers, students, and academicians to get motivation and contribute for this green energy initiatives by the IG. So, welcome, sir. And thank you for the opportunity given. Hope with this, I can hand over the session to Gogol, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for the brief introduction. So Vice Chancellor sir is ready. We can start. Sir, is it okay, sir? We can start, sir.
Google request Mr. Velraj to lower the camera a little bit. His head is not visible.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
it's okay. It's okay.
Perfect,
It's okay. Yeah.
Yes, very good morning.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm not able to open my PowerPoint, but I will talk without that. I'm sorry that suddenly I have changed my. Yeah.
Velraj, you can go ahead and talk because you know very well there is no need of PowerPoint for your.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Very good morning. Today, I'm very happy to address about this sustainability development and particularly how this thermal storage will play a role in bringing sustainability. So before I start about this energy storage for various applications, particularly for air conditioning application, I would like to tell about the meaning of sustainability, how one can bring sustainability in all activities. So for which I would like to tell about this concept of entropy. Many engineering inventions being happening in this world since several years, particularly in the last 200 years. There are lots of engineering development which we understood only in the recent years. All these developments are spoiling this environment in a very big way. So we need to understand how we can bring sustainability in all our activities. So for which we need to understand what is entropy. Entropy I can define in system and surrounding. If we consider a house as a system, a housewife is cleaning this house for her system. The house is her system. If we clean the house, he will keep all the dirty things outside the house, which is maybe the street. The street will get disorder. So when someone is trying to make his or her own system, the surrounding will get disorder. But the law of nature says, when you make the system perfect, if you bring orderliness, the disorderliness you make in the surrounding will be very high than the orderliness you make in the system. So hope you understand any action. So this is the small example which I have told. A house which is maintained by a housewife, when he tries to make her house perfect, he should put all the dirt in the street. In the same way, there are so many engineering activities, particularly all the engineering activities, the major engineering activities started when this electricity was invented, these vehicles for mobility was invented. So the major invention where we started depleting the fuels in an aggressive way. So all the fuels which were accumulated in this world over several millions of years, when we started using it for the production of electricity and for our mobility requirement, either it is road vehicles, surface vehicles, or ship or aircrafts, whatever it be, the amount of energy utilized increased appreciably. The electricity production through fossil fuels, which all happened because of the engineering invention. Even a Nobel laureate, when he invents something, he thinks that he is contributing for the society through his invention. His knowledge is limited within this boundary. So he may make some perfection within his system, but he doesn't know what disorder he is making in the surrounding. What disorder he is making in the surrounding. So everyone should know that engineers, we are creating comfort life for the public. But at the same time, what kind of disorder without knowing we are making, that everyone should understand, all the engineers should understand. So very recently only, whatever disorder we have been doing in the last 200 years because of engineering revolution, the whole world understood, the United Nations understood very recently, in the last 2 decades only, I can say. So after that only they brought all these SDG goals, sustainable development goals, particularly in the energy side. When we use energy, environment is getting disorder. Like that, everything, whatever be the development, when there is a fast growth, there is a disorder. Energy and environment are opposite in nature. Any human being should understand energy and environment are opposite in nature. When we make energy for human comfort, the disorder we make in the environment is more than what orderliness you get. So the world is marching towards disorderliness because of human activities. The human activities, normally engineering revolutions in the field of agricultural sector, health sector, all energy related sector, whatever it is, that if the activity is very fast, if the action is very fast, then the disorder level will be very high. Why this energy generation through fossil fuel, the disorder level is very high? Because when this fossil fuel, which is accumulated in the earth over billions of years, it is a highly concentrated form of energy. It is a highly concentrated form of energy. So when we use this energy, when we try to release this energy, the energy release rate will be at a very fast and aggressively the energy is released. But the technology available with us cannot convert all the energy released into useful form. Even whether it is a electrical energy generation or mechanical energy for the driving the vehicle in IC engine, whatever gas turbine, whatever it is, only 35% of the energy is being converted into useful energy. The remaining energy is dissipated into the atmosphere. So even in the heat form, it is dissipated into the atmosphere when we convert energy. When this high intensity fossil fuel is burned for our requirement. Here, why the disorderliness is very high? Because it is in the intense form, we are trying to release at a faster rate. So the disorderliness in the atmosphere is very, very high. It is not only increasing the global warming, that is heat, which is 65% of the heat equivalent in the fuel, which is liberated in the atmosphere, that we cannot use it, it will dissipate into the atmosphere and slowly the heating is taking place. In addition, all these burning related activities releases carbon dioxide, which is also vulnerable and which is also causing global warming and all greenhouse effects. All these are being taken place because of this carbon dioxide emission. So all carbon dioxide level, measure of carbon dioxide is the unit to measure the degradation of the atmosphere. So there are so many gases, CFC gases, methane gas. When waste is being unutilized, automatically it will generate all these. If you can convert in equivalent to carbon dioxide, the total carbon dioxide generation is very high in the atmosphere because of all human activity. So now, how to curtail this? That is what talk of the day. So all the United Nations goals are also marching towards that. How to curtail that carbon emission. So that is disorderliness, how to reduce. So here I want to say, before I go to my topic on thermal storage, energy storage for air conditioning application. So this, what we understood from the energy release, it is a fast action. This fast action, we are not able to convert everything into useful energy. Though the law of conservation of energy says all energy can be converted from one form to another form. As per the second law of thermodynamics, there is a limitation. We cannot convert all energy into useful energy. When the rate at which we are releasing the energy is very high, the conversion percentage also will become less. That is why now we are marching towards sustainable sources. Sustainable sources means when we try to use these resources for our energy requirement, that disorder what we make in the surrounding will be less. This is possible when the energy release is slow, when the action is slow. Very easily we can understand this is not only in the energy conversion, in all human action, this will create disorder when the action is very fast. The human action is very fast in the recent years because of large technological inventions. Even this internet, this communication, 5G communication, all are increasing the human activity at a faster rate. So even a very simple example, our breathing rate will be normal, our life will be comfortable if it is in a particular rate. When we are under stress, you can see the action will be very fast. Your breathing will be very fast. That will reduce the human life. That means because the disorder level within the human system is very high during that time. So this is the simple example I am telling. Any action, when a person is under stress, the breathing rate will be very high. So that means he is losing his life. The disorderliness in his action, in his human system itself is very high during that point of time. His life will be reduced. So any action which is very fast will lead to disorderliness. So that is now we are trying to curtail using the renewable sources for our energy requirement. When solar energy is used, it is a sustainable, abundant source of energy. So this energy, as long as the sun is there, if we use all our energy requirement from solar, then this planet, we can live in this planet. Otherwise, as per this environment engineers statistics, if the energy is being utilized in the same rate as it is being used now, within some 75 years, this carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere will touch 600 ppm. With the 600 ppm, no living beings human beings cannot live in this planet. Even before that, all the other animals and birds will get extinguished. Now the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere is 420 ppm, nearing 420 ppm. Every year, presently it is increasing at the rate of 3 parts per million. So that means another 60 years, this carbon dioxide level will reach 600 ppm. Even human being cannot live in this planet. So now it is the time to take action. The major focus of this conference is plastic wastage. How to reduce, recycle and reuse and recycle. That is our major focus. So now I would like to tell in one technology where this plastic generation, if it is there, that very well we can use it for our sustainable action. So now I am going to tell about energy storage, which is my research area. So I will tell about this